Hello and welcome to the O'Mealy Corner Book Log on this online blog. I am Rory O'Mealy. This is gonna be actually our last video vlog, so try to make it a good one for y'all. So we are in just about chapter 45 out of 47, so we're right there at the end, and we have we had our friend David Bowman, and he's taking his last sleep. So, what's that mean? So, as he's sleeping, we kind of really jump into the whole anonymous, that's what, the whole anonymous narrator thing again, where, we have someone kind of telling everybody what's up, no real explanation for what's happening. So we were told that all the furniture of the suite that he was living in was dissolved back into the minds of the creators of it. Um, that threw me a little off, but I guess that's kind of normal if you've done everything else that this guy's done. And he wasn't really totally asleep the whole time. Like he was asleep, he was past dreamland, like I said, being all tired and everything. But he still had like a dim presence, I guess, a dim fog that was like invading through his mind. The book used like a fog, the analogy of a fog that's kind of going through a forest. It's there, but it's not like it's invading it, but it's not taking over. Um, yeah. So he seemed to be looking back, or when he was asleep, he had like a vision, almost when he was a like human back at Earth and everything. He had looked at a dead brain cell, and it had these weird grids and everything. But as he was sleeping, he saw a vision of the same kind of brain cell of grids and lines on such an extreme level. He called it as if it was the brain or it was the mind of the creator of the universe. So he got some pretty intense, the mind of the creator of the universe. So he got some pretty intense visions there. So he moves after that. David he moves into a realm of consciousness that was formerly foreign to the entire human race. No man has ever gone to this realm of consciousness before, ever, ever. And it was like his well of memories was being like tapped. He was being leaked almost into something else. He was completely reliving every memory he's ever had, not just like remembering it, reliving it. Same emotion, same physical feeling, same every. He was doing it again. He was physically doing it again. Um, it was seemed I wouldn't call it perfect, but it was basically the original happening again. However, he seemed to be talking during it, so he may have had the understanding that he was reliving it. However, he was reliving it all the same. Maybe I don't know. I did not experience it. That's a David kind of thing, so I haven't done that before. But yeah. So, but through all this, he was completely calm. He said that he knew that while all this was happening, the David Bowman that he was being destroyed. It was being everything. I want you don't get into. I want to get in that debate of what makes a person who they are. Is it their memories, their personality? Is it X, Y, Z? But his personality, his memories, the physical David Bowman, and what had him do what he do, how he acted, everything besides his actual being, everything besides that, was erased, or not erased, but transferred to a new being. So David Bowman, the being of the original human being, David Bowman, was dead. However, his memories, personality, and everything besides his actual being was forced onto an immortal body, as we may have mentioned earlier. Some foreshadowing may have led to this, such as bodies possibly of space and bodies of light, um, where you basically not trap, but store all your knowledge and everything into non-materialistic, non-matter. Um, so pretty cool. And then we get to a point. So he has all of his everything that David Bauman basically was, besides his human being self, um, is in a new body. His old body is it's dead. We have David Bauman being who he is, and now it is silent. Um, a more of like a rectangle, just a slab, a rectangle appears in front of him, and it's crystal. It has lights, it has shadows. They're forming bars. They're like beings of movement that are in this rectangle. They're moving around, and he just he takes it in. He tries to understand it, um, and he realizes that this is the same crystal, the same slab of crystal that he's seen so many times before. The Stargate, the moon, which was a Stargate, I guess. I'm not really sure. Um, the ratio of one to 4 to 9 that had been so peculiar in the beginning. Um, no one ever stopped to ask, does it stop at 9? So it was kind of ignorant for them to not pick up on that. Really a naive thought that it would stop at 9. So obviously the three-dimensional world that we live in right now, um, in here there's many more dimensions, and the ratio doesn't stop at 9. It keeps on going. Um, and just to catch up, if anybody didn't hear that earlier, it is the square of the first three integers, but it would keep on going. So it goes 1, 4, 9, but then it would go to 16, 25, 36, whatever. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool that they took dimension into that and kind of developed that crystal. But the only reason that crystal was hanging out in front of him, and I'm sorry, this gets really confusing. I had to go over and look at this for a while, so try to stay with me here. The reason the crystal was in front of him, as any new child, you need to occupy them in order to have them be productive. So the crystal was floating in front of him, really just to occupy him as the real process, the real work on his brain, or not on his mind, I should say, um, was being done. And the idea of grasping a child's attention, I don't know if you've ever tried, it is, maybe I'm just bad at it, it is not easy to get a child's mind and get him to like stare at something for like a long time, unless it's Teletubbies, because those guys are crazy good at what they do. Teletubbies, they're like good stuff. Anyway, um, yeah. So the true processing was really taking place in the deeper layers of David's mind, and the if we go back to the very beginning of the novel, when the crystal had first appeared to our friend Moonwatcher and his whole man ape tribe, um, what the crystal was doing then forcing them to do weird just like hand motions, trying to understand stuff, to pick stuff up, to throw it, anything like that. The crystal was doing exactly what it's doing right now to David, except he was weaving back then 3 million years ago. They're weaving on a tapestry that was basically like a rock compared to a spaceship. At first they were trying to make this into something great, and now they're trying to make something great into something immaculate. So, I thought that made a lot of sense. I thought that was really a cool idea that you can just keep upgrading like that, and 3 million years of instinct and development may have helped a little bit. Um, so at that point, the last of the earthly materials of David Bauman, his spacesuit, his space pod thing, his clothes that he was wearing from the closet of the imagination. So I guess that wasn't really Earth material anyway. Yeah, all those are flared up in fire, or they said they were flamed up and reduced back to their component atoms. So those are gone. Those are pretty much like not gonna get those back. They are atoms dispersed across the universe. So good luck. Um, yeah. So at that point, he in his new being, he's essentially a child. He's a baby. And that's what he imagined himself as. So as a new child, staring at the rectangle, that's what he kind of looked like right now, a baby. And until he chose a new form to survive as, or until he chose to completely disregard, or not disregard, but to completely um, sh- no longer have the need for matter, he would survive as this child. So pretty quickly after the entire processing had taken place in his mind, he was like, "Time to go. Screw you, matter. I don't need you anymore." So he turned out to he all he is space and time, more or less. Not even he has power over space and time. So what you want to call him, I'm not really sure. We're just gonna call him Dave because that's his name. So he's like, "Time to go." Um, he said that okay, so although he never really occupies one space or one time any longer, he's kind of an eternal. I don't want to say omnipotent, but he has the potential to be, I guess. Um, he will never really leave the spot where he was transformed into what he is. They talk a little bit, like literally one sentence, so I'm not really sure what the idea was behind it, about them using a double star, whatever that is, in order to transform him into into the new, into the new being, the transformation into this being of pure mind. Um, so he would never really leave that double star because of what it's done and of because of it is his new origination. You can never really leave where you originate from. Um, so as of now, he's been able to perceive new ways of like going behind space and getting, so he doesn't even need the stargates anymore to get from one place to another. He there are new ways to like bend space, get one place to the next. Plus the fact that he can move at infinite speeds, or he was moving at infinite speeds. So yeah, movement's not much of a problem anymore. The um the rectangle shape that was still floating before him um was still there, and that held like in back when we were on the moon with Dr. Haywood Floyd and all them. They were talking about how they had tried to get at it, try to do stuff to it, but they never really touched any of the secrets it holds. It talks about the secrets that hold actually being secrets of space and time. It's kind of what we're talking about right now, so it's not really any kind of shocker. But these secrets of space and time are some of which Dave now can understand and actually command. Really cool. So he can like command, he can distort, he can kind of do as he wishes at this point. But he's still like a baby compared to people who have lived for basically eternity, or not people, but beings that have lived for eternity in this manner, in this fashion. I don't know. Um. Anyway, so at this point, he can like see the galaxy. He can specifically focus on 100 billion stars at once, no problem. Do a lot more. It's weird. Um, like I can't even if you try to look at someone and focus on both their eyes at once. That's hard. He can focus on 1 billion stars at once, 100 billion stars at once. So that's something. Um, so as of now, the framework that of the rectangle and everything that he was staring at kind of got filled with darkness. Like the whole, all the sun and all the light around him started receding at one time until it was just darkness, and then he started to focus on, like I said, 100 billion stars at once. He started focusing on the galaxy. He started doing whatever he wanted. He could just focus and see whatever he wanted, and then he kind of gets to a chasm, a a breach in between one sky and the next, in which it is formless. It is empty. It is we don't even have words in our language to really describe how much of a nothing there was. It was nothing. That's the word. It was no thing there. Nothing. Um so that's where he is. This is what this area is just it's waiting to be created. It's waiting to be used for creation. It's waiting for time to begin here. Time has not begun here. It is nothing. Um, Scientists now, like in 2015, are kind of like doing, it's kind of like I don't know, it has something to do with like black matter and all that other stuff, but it's not like we really know anything about it now compared to what they supposedly know in this book, which is basically everything. Anyway, who knows? We may be to them completely dumb, but they may be to someone else even dumber. So that just makes us feel like terrible 'cause we are so dumb. Anyway, um, so he crossed time once into this no time zone. He's gonna do it again. He crossed out of it into real time, and he basically sees the universe in a way he's never seen it before. In a way, it could have like shattered before him. He is just so everything is so foreign to him right now. He took on a new body that isn't even a body. He's doing everything. Everything. In he's a child of eternity. So he's got some ways to go. Um, as he does this, he really for after a while, we always talked about his instincts. He'd always go back to like whenever he was looking for light, he'd look back up at the sky or that kind of stuff. But for the first time, he really left his human origin, and that terrified him. But it talks about how he's always going to have the help when he needs it from other beings, whatever they are. So he's never going to be really alone. I'm not really sure. They gave about 2 sentences on how whenever he makes his first mistake, someone's gonna be there to pick him up. But I just the 2 sentences. I literally told you what they told me. So not really sure about that. May go Google it, try to figure out a little more about the whole idea of the author behind these different beings and how they live together. Not live, but do they live? Yeah, I guess how they live together and all this other stuff that they're doing. So guidance will be there for him when he needs it. He's moving across the universe at infinite speeds. It doesn't really talk about multiverses whatsoever, but that's a possibility. And he stops. He sees planet Earth. He's a child. Any child would be tempted to do this. He goes straight to Earth. Like he sees all the. He goes straight there, and he gets there right at a time in which their radar is flashing. They have telescopes looking at the sky, because apparently a megaton or multiple megatons are orbiting Earth right now, and if they hit Earth, they're going to kill everybody. Not cool. So yeah, Earth's kind of in like panic mode, and he's kind of like it's not like it's gonna hurt him if Earth dies or not. I mean, whatever. But he says he likes to see a clear sky. He likes clean skies. So he kind of, by his own will, he kind of looks at that rock, gives it a nice glare, even though he don't have eyes. And then by his own will, it silently detonates itself, or it silently detonates. And so that's not there anymore. And he's kind of looking around like, I literally rule Earth. I am the ruler of the world. Hell, I'm the ruler of everything. What do I do next? And that's where the book ends with another one of its end of a chapter go getter makes you want to keep reading. So I have to go read the next book now. The final sentence when I'm like, but he would find something to do, or like he'll find something to do next. So he's going to go do something next, and that is where the novel leaves us. So 2001, A Space Odyssey. We didn't exactly meet up to par, according to this author. By 2001, we are 14 years late, and we're still working on the whole Mars thing. But I mean, all credit to scientists, because I'm not smart enough to do it. So y'all keep doing great. Thank you for watching. I hope I have told you to go have a good every time of the day by now. But if not, go have a good every time of the day by now. Um, and thank you for everything for watching. enjoy our next series, maybe on the next book. Maybe I won't have one. We'll see how that goes. Thank you ever so much. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. I forgot to say one thing that really bothered me. They still call him he. He's not even like, he has no he parts. He's not a he. He's not a she. It's not even a it anymore. But they still called him he. That really bothered me. Had to put it in there. Was not going to go back and redo 20 minutes of video. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful all the time. Goodbye.